Good morning. I'm very happy to see you. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lina. I'm an open yoga teacher, and this is English Speaking Yoga Club. Today we're going to discuss topic about selfishness, but first of all, please introduce yourself and share your power. Tell about the positives in the last week.
Okay, my name is Valerijik. I'm a second year student of Shakti 23 group of International Open Yoga University. The first positive, I was happy to return to the city from village, from Dacia. Especially appreciate hot bath and all comfort in the city. Another positive, it's sweet watermelons and melons. It's really tasty now. I think it's season for this. And the third positive, I found yourself cleaning some places in the flat. It's like making place more natural for myself, like, I don't know how it's English, как-то природнить место. Вот как это.
Make it closer. So this depends on meaning. Well, yes, and I think when we clean some space, we clean some space in our mind. And if we see everything in order and everything is so clean and bright, we feel a little bit happier. And it is very important for our well-being to keep our flat clean, because we see, we do not, if we see some chaos, it is not very comfortable for our mental health, maybe. Да, то есть если что-то так, бардак в жизни, ну, нужно начать прибираться в квартире, и да, действительно, это очень хорошее действие имеет.
Если для нас это важно, значит, мы от этого зависим, да?
It is very important for us to watch, to see something clean. I think it's associative links. That's why I like minimalism. It is very easy to keep a flat in a clean state, because we do not have plenty of things. And this is very good. So minimalism is very good. First of all, for our mental health, it's some kind of asceticism, and we have less associative links. And for example, if I start my yoga practice and I lie down on my yoga mat, but I see some dirtiness or some things that were dropped by my children, I don't feel harmony for my yoga practice.
Yes.
First of all, I would like to clean it. Okay, and today we're going to speak about selfishness. I also add some vocabulary for this lesson. So, self-esteem, самооценка, self-compassion, самосострадание, selfishness, эгоизм в его плохом плане, altruism, compassion, сострадание, empathy, эмпатия, boundaries, границы. So, selfishness and ego are very complex questions in yoga, and we must use them in appropriate way. So let's discuss. The first question is, what does ego mean to you? Do you believe it's inherently negative, or can it be driving force for positive change? Share your perspective. Что для вас значит эго? Считаете ли вы, что это по своей природе негативно, или оно может быть движущей силой для позитивных изменений? Поделитесь своей точкой зрения. So what's your point of view?
Okay, for start, I not fully agree about terms ego, not just self-importance, but also just self, feeling boundaries where I and where not I. It's not always about how important I, but just awareness where am I. Uh, I think it's mostly about boundaries and answering the question. I think all good for his time. And also, as yoga says, there's no better good. It's appropriate and unappropriate. So
Inappropriate.
inappropriate. So in some time we need, I think, we need ego just to continue life, just not to die. Maybe just to be for start, because if we don't have herself, then maybe we don't exist at all. And if we don't have boundaries where I and where not I, where my opponent, then we cannot interact and nothing to do. We just white blank list of paper, no action. But if we make some circles or triangle and then they can interact and we can build something. So I think it's maybe some step where to start, and it's needed because without it, it's just maybe not empty, but all equals. Nothing to do, no energy. Also, I remember I read the book about boundaries. It's name No Limits, and this is say that boundaries, the limits, make energy because when you have some restriction, then energy cannot flow freely, and you can't direct it in some way and do something. Oh,
So,
it's
if we
yes.
summarize, ego and our boundaries do they do give us energy. This is the base of our communication in society, and we can just live without ego. And this is very important. So, Evgeny joined us. Evgeny, please tell us, how do you understand this term ego, and do we really need it? Is it positive or negative for you?
Good morning. Sorry for waiting. I think it's a part of us, normal part of each man, because we grow with it, and it's just like first step of our воспитание. So when man 3, 5 years kid he starts to understand himself, it's ego helps us to understand to divine me and in other world, in other people. So. It's a part of personality. The way of starting is such things. Is the natural. I think it's okay, but it depends the ways it goes further. When man grows and put himself in the center of the world, it's not always good. Yes, of course, it's not good without the personality. When we equal, like Slava said, each one is the same, like a bees or muravi ants, like
And
ants.
and
So. Yeah, so it's also not so good. Like we was living in the social communistic society where most things in the this country was directed to the social life, yeah, not only for personal. It also was another part of the way крайность. So, and but now we live in another society, another country, and people not thinking about the country, thinking about himself only. So I think it's have to be in the middle, not too much for you, the center of planet of the world, but also you have to think about other. So we need to find this way to compromise between.
Крайность можно сказать extreme, вот, ну, как бы экстрем или ну, вот, да, я такое слово встречала. Okay, so we need to find some balance between taking care of us, ourselves, and to think about society and our social environment. So we need to find this balance. Okay, and the next question is a strong sense of self-ego always an obstacle on the path of yoga? Or maybe some self-development, not only yoga. How can we differentiate between a health, self-awareness, or detrimental egoism in our practice and in our life? So the question is how to find this balance. What is healthy selfishness, and where should we start think about other people, not only about ourselves? So, Slava, what do you think about this? What is healthy selfishness?
I think for start, it's really easy because yoga warns us about principle of yoga. They recommend to follow principle of yoga because it's good for us too, and this is how to avoid negative consequence from our ego also. So it's можно I can easily say if I follow principle of yoga, then my ego don't hurt anyone. I don't make negative karma, and this is good for me too. So win-win situation. How to make balance? Also, principle of yoga not so simple. It contain many variables and very various and individual for all person. So, for example, for one person, it's good not to kill someone. For other person, good to help someone, and this is a different reaction, but one principle. I think it's all individual. We cannot strictly say do only this, don't do other, and this is healthy. It's depend of person. It's how to person feel. Also, it's good thoughts from axiomatics. We about our karma. Вы как-то вы, в общем, мы сами следим за соблюдением законов кармы.
And we wish we will punish ourselves.
Yes, yes.
If we need it.
I remember some как-то cartoons about Robot Bender. He not very good guy, but he believe in some religion, and this is religion say if you make something bad, you go to hell. And he live without problem, but after he accept this religion, and then this robot go to hell because he do something wrong. I think it's about, yes, we believe and we punish yourself. If maybe some person believe that we need, I don't know, kill people as many as you can to как-то там это было что попасть в Алгаву, там вот что-то такое, религия тоже. Maybe for some peoples who believe is good, it's also be good because so it's really complex, and I think we can answer only for yourself what for me good to be как-то sense of my ego, how far I can go with my ego, or maybe I must get rid of part of my ego. But this is some как-то тенденция, tendency when we grow up mentally, then we need to decrease our ego because we invite yourself to neighbors, to other living beings, and we depend of other living beings because if other living beings around us and unhappy, then we unhappy too. But we always return to make yourself happy, maybe from another people, maybe from neighbor. It's really complex.
Okay, so Evgeny, during the evolution of humanity, those people who help other members of society, they lived much better. This is how all humanity had some growth and this evolution. And also, if we help somebody, our brain encourages us by producing some hormones like oxytocin. So thinking of other people was a great part of the evolution of humanity, and this is on the one hand. But on the other hand, there is another basic instinct to dominate, to be the best, and this is also encouraged by our brain, by our limbic system, for example. So how should we find this balance, especially in our feelings, and because sometimes they are opposite. So how should we find healthy balance? What do you think about this?
Difficult questions. I think, of course, we start the day with the motivation. When I want something and lift my ass and go walk, when I not when forced me, but when I want, it's from one side. Yeah, so I have to grow this motivation, something sweet, markovka, carrot. So it's wishes. Yeah, so of course there is the like aim or your target when you go striving. And we, of course, man is cannot without this. Yeah, some idea, for instance, it can be idea egoistic, small idea like comfort and laziness, doing nothing, and eating chocolate or something good that you like. So it's not from the big conscience. So it depends from what side from which level of your inner part you're moving, or it's just comfort. You want to lie on the beach and drink alcohol. So if it's only your dream, then you understand it's leads nowhere. So it's just laziness, like Chekhov, Kryzhovnik. So it's dream about your garden and let's say the comfort zone. But when you think this way, about the question about the principles of yoga, I don't know it exactly, but I remember from Buddhism, I think that our joy, our wishes, it's our suffer. Наше страдание, наше желание, наше страдание. So when you remember this, so you're not leading your movement only from your joys, your own joys. So you starting to think about some общее благо.
Common.
So for instance, at least for family, for your family, okay, and your friends maybe. So from this way, you have more energy to motivate yourself when you know that you can help when other people. When you even when you feel hard and not comfortable, so you can find the resource when you feel responsibility. If you know that you have to do something for 100 people, so you looking inside the what can I do? But it's difficult to find this. But some people who live the big idea, yeah, beautiful ideas, so they can find such energy. And I think we have to learn to dream about something big, not about my own Norca.
Mhm.
So
Building a communism in one part of the world.
maybe, for example, in Israel, I was living there. There is kibbutz, like social organized people, like our kolkhoz. It's
Mhm.
very different
Mhm.
because there people living only serious. They have kid garden, kitchen for everyone is eating there. They have cars, not my own car. It's kibbutz car. You can take and go. You not have a salary for like they give you a lot of a bit money. You can go outside of city buy something, but you live there. But you don't have your money in your own. Only my money. It's money of everyone, and they deliver. So it's interesting. Maybe difficult. Not everyone like this. So it's just example, good example of such a living.
Mhm. Okay, so in yoga, desires are not just to suffer, but desires is the consequences of ignorance. То есть желание – это следствие неведения. But we can use desires for self-development because it can be a very good thing for us. If we have some desires, we should get this. Otherwise, we can't reach enlightenment and the final goal of yoga. So, так, что-то еще хотела сказать. But, and also egoism is like self-development is like building a great house. If you want to build some great house, you must build an additional structures. Это строительные леса. Вот есть. So you are building your self-developments and spiritual growth. So you build, but after you had finished, you must take away all the additional structures. И вот пока мы идем по пути духовного самопознания, нам их необходим как строительные леса. Иначе мы не сможем построить. But after you have finished your house and it is good enough, you must get rid of selfishness, get rid of these additional structures because you do not really need them. That's why everything must be on time. If you get rid of these additional structures before you had finished, you cannot finish building this house. Something like that. So let's proceed to the second question. Do you consider yourself an egoist? Why or why not? How do you understand of your own ego shape your interactions with others? Считаете ли вы себя эгоистом? Почему да и почему нет? Как ваше понимание собственного эго формирует ваше взаимодействие с другими? Slava, are you an egoist?
Hello, my fellow lyric, I'm an egoist. Yes, I think I'm egoist more than some, but also less than some. There is no absolute scale of egoism, how to measure it. We don't have digits. I'm egoist 5 dot there, for example.
And what do you think, sorry for interrupting, about men, so male and female ego? Because maybe female women are not so egoistic because, first of all, they should think about their children and then about themselves. And men can't do, can't behave in a such way.
Maybe, yes, I think, but also I think men как-то earn money for this woman and for her children also. Maybe on the distance, on the work, but also not always money just for money, for be rich, but for family too. But yes, I think in women's women. In women, it's main instinct, and also I think parents easily sacrifice yourself because of children, and also like instinct.
So please continue about, do you consider yourself a healthy egoist or not?
I think for now, this is some social behavior. We think it's not bad or good for us. For example, this is be big egoist. It's not good, but it's I cannot say I not egoist. It's not true. I think no one can say this, but this is way how to make it healthy, and I think helping other people, no, helping by myself, by helping other people is good way of how I can penetrate my egoism, and it also good for me because when I help someone, I feel yourself better. I feel yourself needed, and this make me happy too. And but also it's good for another people. I think it's good for all.
And do you really think that we can help other people? So if we want to help something, somebody, yoga teaches us that it is almost impossible to help other people. The best thing that we can give them is knowledge. But they are absolutely free. If they want to suffer, they will continue suffer. And no matter if you help them or not, if they decided to suffer, they will suffer. You can give them sweet money or something else, but they must decide to stop suffering and to change their life by themselves. And you cannot help them to make this decision. That is why you can only teach them, remove obstacles on their way, and but to help people is not so easy.
as argument, for example, some people work hardly every day. They don't have time to study something, and you give them money, and this person can't work not all day, but also can't study something 1 hour a day. Then you help them not by knowledge, but the как-то ability to uh, to select something, to select knowledge, for example. So I think it's many way, but also I don't talk just about help to как-то get rid of suffering. I'm just help in wide options. Maybe sometime will help people's not good for these people. For example, if you not study how to catch the fish and only help by giving the fish, then this person depend of you, and you help this person, but this person depend of you. But you happy because you help and help. I don't know. Maybe it's also a complex question, but I think it's a better way to help another to help yourself by helping another people. Как-то in compare to give another people hard time to make him grow, to make him to do something. I don't know. Maybe it also I remember some TV series, Babylon 5. There's two super races who teach people, and one race give them war and say, in war you grow really fast, you learning something, you become stronger really fast. Another race give them peace and knowledge, and they also grow, but not so fast, but happy. It's two way, and what way is better? It hard to say.
Okay. Evgeny, what do you think about this? If we want to help somebody and he has some difficulties in his life, and this is the base of his self-development, sometimes we need difficulties, but we try to help him to solve his problems, and that's why he has no self-development, no growth, but we are happy because we helped somebody, and we are not so egoistic, and we think that we are so good. How do you think is the best life to take care of other people? To give them knowledge, to remove the obstacles on the way, or just give them money and sweets, something like this. Так, микрофон выключен.
Of course, it's not a decision when you give money just a fish. The best thing I think to try. We're trying to do to another man to think about something. So, like in the Bhagavad Gita says that I remember the best sacrifice that you can give you to other people is the wisdom. Yeah. So the things like you do, for instance, it's a volunteer action when you spend your time to make such a meeting like now. So it's a very good try, попытка to do this with other people. So when you share yourself, when you give yourself your heart to another people, so it's good not for your only yourself, you pit yourself. Это лелеять свое эго. But when you cannot another way, it's you feel it's the way that you want to live. So I think it is good. And also we have not only to read books about this, not only talk about it, but go to the people. For instance, in Acropolis we go some volunteer actions, and we go to the eco акции, and also we go to the детдом. Kids were have no parents. So I remember it was difficult experience for the first time, and we go to the kids, and they already watch on you that rich men come and give the phone, food, keys, sweets, and they not interesting. But we're not giving this. We try to play to them, to talk to them, and after this, once we went to the район, центр, when we went to the детдом, where преступники, дети преступники. It was the best experience. They not разбалованные with the presents and sweets, and it was the best kids. And we each month we come to them, and after you start feel the connection with those people, interesting kids, very talented people, although they are criminal, the thieves and the aggressive something, but they best детдом where I saw. So we're not going to them for pit myself. I'm good. You spend your time, not sit with your kids and go to other, but it's very interesting experience to understand people and to try to connect to them. I think when you look in this connection and not in another interest, how to say soul to soul, when you feel it, it's everything give you energy after. So I think when you find this source, when you connect to the people and see what for you're doing, because for instance, I don't like when people go to animal help to dogs in the caves, or I don't know, even trash ecological actions. I don't see the result in the end. So, but when I walk to the with people, with kids, I think it's very strong. You feel отдачу, или как to say.
Impact, ну, как-то влияние, impact. Okay, so excuse me, Slava, can you make another? So we are with. Oh. What else? Okay, and Evgeny, so if we answer this question, do you consider yourself an egoist, and why or why not? How
Of course,
can
I'm
you
egoist. Of course, I'm egoist, and as I remember that such a byword. Then other people is our mirror. So when I look on my big daughter, and some stuff's irritating me when she's doing something egoistic, and I'm always speaking her, you egoist. I'm talking to her, trying to talk to her. So I see it's because it's in my own. So of course, I'm far away from the Mama Teresa. So, but you know some examples how people live and what you can do or not to do. So when you think of the such thing, of course, I'm egoist, very big egoist. Sometimes you each time you can be less egoistic, but uh, we have to find the way and think about things, not only myself. And it's much more interesting. The world is much bigger when you're not inside of you, when you people, when you look outside. So I think egoism is good, but for one level of, as you said, when you build yourself, your structure as a Maslow pyramid, for example, yeah. So it's of course you have to find some basic for yourself, but then you understand, okay, I have it. I don't need palace to live. I need 2 meters to sleep. So it's enough for me, for instance. So um, and you think about other things. It's not obstacle for you anymore. So when you understand, okay, for me it's here. It's enough. I cannot eat each. I cannot each day can a new bike, new car. I know don't need it just so. I don't think about it. So of course I'm egoist, and I'm trying to work with it. The way of a conscience of the such meetings like this, or reading books, meeting people. So
But first of all, I should buy 10 cars and after that decide that I do not need them. or I can decide it without buying these cars, just by my mind.
I think Maslow pyramid, it's for some people it's okay, but I think it's just like a stereotype that we have to make all these things. Then after this, I'll work for the people. But we have another example that people don't have this, and like Mahatma Gandhi, and you see such examples. He wasn't rich, he wasn't a big house or expensive cars, so. People need less than they think sometimes. So, of course, each one is different. So he find this for himself. How much is he enough? But the rich is man who he has enough, but not he has a lot of.
Okay, but if we have a dream to have a big house near the seashore, somewhere in Greece, should we get rid of these dreams? Because we need only 2 meters and just a flat in
No, I don't
Nizhny
think it's
Novgorod.
an obstacle. Okay, you can be rich man, but you can be also a big, very big heart man that give other people also. You can connect all these things because. Money is energy, it's not aim. If you
Mhm,
have energy, also of course you can have a dacha, 3 dachas. You have a fly each day to another countries and meet people and give to people. So it's a defend of your conscience. Why you go with it? Only for yourself, or you give another, and you have also like sun is shining and give you heat, and she's not losing it. So the same way you can be big man, have a lot of big house, and also have a lot of friends, big friends. So. It's not мешает один другому. So it's not
mhm,
obstacles. It's just the way of you living and your source of understanding, seeing. So you don't have to be poor man to and good man. No, it's not connected.
mhm,
Sometimes nищета is much more worse, and the people is much more difficult to save the man inside of you when you're nothing to eat.
mhm. Okay, and the next question is, how do you feel about other people who displays egoistic traits? Do you dislike them? Explain your perspective and encountering egoism in others. Как вы относитесь к другим людям, проявляющим эгоистические черты? Объясните свою точку зрения на эгоизм у других. Sometimes my mother comes to me for a couple of weeks, for example, and I look at her behavior, and I understand how it is terrible to be such a wife. And that's why I can change in my relationship, in my family. Only that way. Other way, I don't understand that I'm a terrible person. But when I see it in my mother, these are features of egoism. Only that way I see these bags in my behavior. I have no other ways to improve my relationship in my own family. And that's why my husband is very happy when my mother comes to me. And that is how I can become a better wife. So this is a good way for me. Slava, what about you? When you see other people who are egoistic, can you improve your own behavior or can see? Because I think that we do not understand that we do something wrong anyway. Only when we feel this in other people, we can improve ourselves. Don't you think so?
Uh, I use this situation to understand myself, to bring myself. For start, if I have automatical reaction, negative reaction on egoistic people, but I watch this reaction, understand it, and I try to understand another person. Why is like this? Also, I practice this some practice from Nikolai Kozlov books. Its name If I Love You. For example, in the underground, some rude woman step on your foot and something unpleasant to you, look angrily, and you want to answer, but you start to think why this person, uh, uh, why behavior of this person, uh, and you think maybe, sorry, как это сказать-то сейчас? You need to think if this is your beloved one. For example, your beloved mother. And you start to think in another way. What happened to this woman? Why is such a bad mood? Something bad maybe happened to her. She's suffering and she needs help. And this is why her behavior is so egoistic and unpleasant. And when you start to calculate the situation in this way, you find another point of view and understanding, and you not automatically reacted, but also maybe because you turn on your neocortex and start to thinking, and this is not limbic system answer, but it's about thinking about neocortex. So I try to understand this person. Now from yoga, I'm also start to think about my karma. Maybe it's my karma to meet this person. And maybe this is my point of growth. And also, it's always for me underground. People like mirror for me, and I look on the people and can't think I am in good mood or I'm angry. As they say, no one your friend, nor one your как-то enemy, but all your teachers. Yes, вот. Никто вам не друг, никто не враг, но каждый человек вам учитель. Надо использовать.
Yes, in yoga we have also meditation of wishing happiness to all living beings, including our enemies. And in such way, maybe in previous life, I kicked somebody. And that's why today somebody kicked me. And this situation, my goal is not to generate negative karma, just to stop these relationships and maybe not to answer in an anger way. But how should I keep boundaries, my healthy boundaries in such situation? Because maybe it's not good for my mental health. I should keep my boundaries. And if somebody's behavior is very egoistic, I shouldn't suffer from this behavior because I must keep my boundaries. What do you think about this?
Как это... Не знаю, в английском, наверное, нет, но тоже вот есть слово «обидеться», например. Буквально оно как «обидеть себя». So, other person cannot make you unhappy. Only you can make yourself unhappy. But other people can do something and you make yourself unhappy. So you need to be more independent and understand that only you rule in your body, in your mind.
Okay, this is a very interesting way. Okay, Evgeny, what about you? What do you think, what do you feel when you see people who displays egoistic traits? Do you like them or not?
Of course not. Of course, the first reaction is emotional, and you want to explode and shout. And each day, almost, I meet it in house with my kids. So you can shout and stop them doing something, but better way to talk to them. And if you want to teach them something, you talking about examples of your parents, of yourself, how you can make another way. But sometimes I cannot enough wisdom to do this. Sometimes I shout and punish them. It's not good. The corner.
And let's take the same situation that you are in Moscow, for example, in underground, and somebody stepped on your foot, some angry woman. And moreover, uh, she started to shout at you, for example. Will you think about, oh, maybe she's unhappy in her life, she's poor, she has a bad husband, and you try to understand her situation in life and not to be angry, to keep your emotions and to think about your karma, maybe. Will you think in a such way?
In such a situation, I never think about my karma. Sometimes it's a success situations. I remember in the work in our job, for instance, сотрудник, вредная сотрудница. So, and I remember I stopped my reaction, like emotional, and I tried to think how to make a conclusion. And I was talking to her with a smile, with the love, and she turned the situation another way. It was a good example, but of course I have not good example when I shout back. So difference. But sometimes it's like very interesting game when you stop your emotion first and then try to think of it and like how to make this key and the door to open this come to heart of the man and solve this in good way, and it's just волшебное something when you it's success in these situations, you know. But after Slava, it's difficult to find some best word that if I love you, if I love you. So it's a good, very good decision, very good. Nikolai Kozlov, yeah, Slava.
Yes, and yoga principles too, because if we have some bad karma, but we wish happiness, so every student of International Open University has to meditate each day that I wish happiness to my friends, to my relatives, to my dear ones, to all people in the universe, and to my enemies, to people whom I don't like and who do not like me. And this is the way that I can work with my karma. And the roots of the negative karma become untangled and we become free. This is a very powerful instrument to wish happiness to all my enemies and people who do not like me. So this is very good for us because we must increase our freedom. Okay, in what specific ways can we practice каким конкретным образом практика йоги помогает нам помочь преодолеть мысли и действия, обусловленными эго, и развить большее сострадание, альтруизма в нашей повседневной жизни? In what specific ways can we practice of yoga help us transcend ego-driven thoughts and actions and cultivate more compassion and altruism in daily lives? Share practical examples. So the first practice, if I love you, or wishing happiness to all living beings, this is a very powerful instrument. And in yoga, we should work with our karma each day. And this is the way we make our future better. And so how can we keep consciousness? To have an ability to think in a such way. How can we keep our emotions also? What do you think about this, Slava? Everyone is so egoistic. And sometimes it is so difficult to be kind and so on. Slova, what are your advices?
My advice is try and try and approach, and sometimes it's work, and you feel it's work, and it's give you power to try again. Um, Also, it's a good way to remember that universe balanced in any time and any point of space right now. So it's already balance on the universe, and if this is so, so it's must be so.
Mhm.
Uh, Another way, it's also karma yoga and understanding that you have what you desire. And also, I think karma yoga, maybe it's about, maybe we need to through this lesson, and our life will let you get to the lesson over and over again. Uh, until you learn something. Maybe you need to learn something, and this is why you meet these people. Uh, and also from Karma Yoga, I remember do something without expecting a result, as break up some assertive links. And I think it's how to как-то преодолеть карму, в принципе, вот как-то, да.
To overcome. Mhm.
Overcome
Mhm.
karma in general.
Don't you think that some people who are maybe very angry and stressful think when that politeness is a weakness, and sometimes we have to be strict and to show to keep our boundaries. So maybe some people think that if we try to be kind and polite, but they think that we are weak and they could do something wrong.
Yes, in some situation, some person will like play a game, and this is different rules of game on every level. And on some level, you need to steal, or someone steal from you. You need to kick, or someone kick you. But I think it's the way to look from highest level. And for example, if you see a person who angry, it's feel pity for this person. Oh, I'm sorry for your loss. What you cannot be in good mood. Pity
Mhm.
person.
Okay, Evgeny, and what is your opinion? What is the best way to keep our boundaries, but to be a consciousness and to think about our future karma and to increase our freedom if everybody is so egoistic around us?
I think not it's not good each time when you have some trouble situation to be silent and to pity yourself on okay. And as I saw it from my examples, in my examples with my father, for instance, also different difficult relationship. But sometimes when you criticize themselves back, but with good word, not shout, but find the words to say stop. No, this is not good because of this. So if you trying to explain, trying to talk, to understand from the other sides, so it helps yourself to keep your boundaries, and also to make another man to understand something. Not put yourself in the center or another man in the center and just stop talking. No, we have to try to connect, to make understand each other. So it's the way, and it's not. Sometimes it's if men come and shout on you, and to the way to make him stop. Sometimes it's opposition. Hold your point. It's also important, and sometimes people see it, and you try to talk equal sides, not one up and another is down. So it's попытка to try the equal and connect. So boundary is important, but it's have to come from the heart. So
not from angriness, but from our heart. Okay, so I think that we should be conscious to do it. And even if we demonstrate that we can be angry, that we can shout, but this moment we must be very calm in our head, in our heart. But we just sometimes we should keep our boundaries. Maybe this way will be not very polite, but still our behavior should suit this situation. And this is the way. If we are not egoistic, if we take care of other people, it is not always very maybe polite from the first view, but this is the way that we will make our life better, and our social environment also will feel better. I wish you to keep a healthy selfishness in your life, and become happier, and have only good karma in this way. Our class has come to an end. I was very happy to see you. Let me remind you that my name is Lina. I'm an open yoga teacher, and see you next Sunday. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good week. Bye-bye.
Good week.